check this out. So I'm watching the VERZUZ right now, and it turned out better than I thought it would be. Cause when I seen Ja Rule and Fat Joe, I was like, I said a couple weeks back, I'm not interested in this. But I think what they had to do, they had to make it a little more competitive because nobody was gonna see a love fest. So off the gate, this thing was pretty competitive. And what this thing also did was remind people that Ja Rule had a nice run. I wasn't personally a big fan of Ja outside of a couple songs, and I liked the Vini Vidi Vici album. I didn't buy any of his albums other than that first one. But that dude had some hot singles. Can't front. I can't front on it at all. Now, where Fat Joe, he tried to implement Jadakiss strategy and freestyle over some mixtape, some classic bars, some classic instrumentals, but it didn't work. See, what Fat Joe should have done, he should have gotten that Jose Don Cartagena bag. That Jose Don Cartagena dig it in the crates bag. Even though he played the Big L song, he should have did a little more of that. He should have came out with the Flow Joe as his intro. You gotta know, Joe. You gotta know, Joe. You gotta flow, know to let him flow, Joe. He should have came out at that at the intro, like Fat Joe the Gangster. And I like how he brought out My Lifestyle. I was like, okay, now we getting good. Now this is getting good. But where Fat Joe kind of got lost, and Ja Rule was calling him out, was he started just doing, he tried to pull what Jada did, but the difference was the song wasn't as dope. And Ja Rule was able to moderate the tempo when he played his hits. I like how Ja Rule opened up with the It's Murder joint. That made me know, like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And also with Ja, when he started going into his chick songs, Fat Joe couldn't match it. He couldn't match it at all. And his songs were more so hit local regional records. It wasn't no big records like, what would I be without you? Everybody dream me of you. Even though Fat Joe tried to get him for singing, it wasn't working. Because then you following up and you trying to play commercial songs as well. You should have hit that nigga with some hardcore records. That's how he would have kept the moto. Now, he put a smart thing in bringing Remy Ma out there, and they did Twins, and she recited Big Pun verse, and man, Remy was fine. Good gracious. Papoose, you got a W there, brother. Whew. But she did her thing. They did all the way up. Fat Joe, he tried to do his hits, but his hits weren't big as Ja's. His hits weren't big as Ja's at all. He had the women going crazy. So Crack, this was one of the biggest surprises of the night here. When, number one, the shit talk that they were doing back and forth was funny. I like it how it kept a competitive vibe in it. Like Ja kept both saying, dude, they ain't your hit, Crack. They ain't your hit, Crack. You know how Ja Rule sounded like? He sounded like Shaq when he be trying to talk to Charles Barkley. You ain't got no rings, Chuck. Where your rings at, Chuck? But going back, Fat Joe knew he was losing. So he just started playing records that nobody really cared for. They were kind of like hit records, like his hit records, but they weren't major records. And every time he would do that, Ja would follow up with another major hit. Then Fat Joe tried to pull a chess move and try to bring Nelly out. I remember that Get It Poppin' song. I mean, that was a big record. But Ja Rule pulled another chess move. Brought out Ashanti. And man, Ashanti was sexy. She made that nigga Nelly feel it. Like, damn nigga, look what you missing out on. I know Nelly felt bad like a motherfucker. But that was a good vibe right there. When she came out there, she did her songs and she performed with both of them. And it let us know that Ja Rule was a great performer. He's still a great performer. Despite the stuff in the narrative that 50 made it like Ja Rule was a bum, he got his flowers tonight. And I'm sure that 50 ain't happy about that. I bet 50 gonna try to do some petty dissing tomorrow. Because anytime Ja Rule get a W, 50 gonna try to orchestrize him, man. He gonna try to shut his momentum down, which is typical of him. But this Versus here was pretty good though. It wasn't like Dipset or the Locks, but it was pretty fun to watch. It was pretty fun to watch it. It was good to see these dudes get along at the end. It was good to see black music get appreciation again. So, let me know what you guys think of it. What did you think of the Versus? Because I personally think Ja Rule wiped the floor with Fat Joe. And Fat Joe had to talk a lot of shit to compensate. But it was all out of love. So, let me know what you guys think. This is King Eric signing out. Holla.